Hey everybody, welcome back to the Not a Problem podcast. You can tell we still don't have an intro, but one of our buddies is working on it. He's working on a juicy fucking juice baseline for us.
Juicy fucking juice.
So we're waiting on that, and I think the plan is that when we get that, the first episode that we use that intro, we're gonna have him on, talk about what he does. He does some pretty cool shit. He plays Army with us sometimes. Pretty funny dude as well. I'm excited to have him on. So hopefully we
Oh
get
yeah.
that in the near future, so we can bring him around. So
Talk about the band a little bit. Talk about what he does.
yeah, fuck yeah. I don't even know what he does for work. Oh, you know what? I don't even know his first name. I feel like it's Eric.
Robert.
Oh, it's
You're way
it's
off.
definitely not Eric.
Robert Presner.
So Mondo, how was your week, man?
Dude, my week was pretty good. It was my birthday this week. But
Yeah,
in
happy
Ching Ching,
birthday!
I'm now worth 25 cents in the body department. Now 25 years old. So
It's a weird
that
way
is
to put it, but
what's that?
nothing. Go on. How was your week?
It was great. I mean, me and the girl, well, we're finally both unsick now, so that's nice.
That's a plus.
Yeah. This week I made my first official sale, which was awesome.
That's super neat.
Yeah,
Were you a
in the
millionaire now?
job. Definitely not there yet, but
Mm.
we're making our way downtown.
That's good. That's
But
good.
yeah. So the birthday was this weekend. We went go-karting. It was pretty fun. Like we went to this little like Euro kart thing at first, which
Yeah.
was like, man, you go like 10, 15 miles an
European.
hour. Yeah. And we were like racing around. And it was so funny, like when you would go around some of the turns and you would like really like try and hold to the corner super hard, your tires would literally go boom, 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 like because they were the turn, like the front tires would do that around the turn because it couldn't like actually go around.
Yeah.
So after that, we were like, oh, there was an adult track. We're like, dude, we should definitely go and do that. So at first we sat down in them, and the carts were huge. Like I'm not a big dude, and the cart was like long.
Hmm.
Like it was tight, but it was like long, so like my feet could barely like reach the pedals. Well, they had these little things where you could flip down the bars and it would like extend the pedal another 3 inches towards you. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. I'm in now. So we did that.
Professional racer, right
Oh
here.
man. I was like immediately I felt like I was like, my name is Armando Enriquez and I drive Formula One. And immediately when I sat in the seat, I was like, this is my dream, dude. Like, here we go. And I just started going. I went crazy, dude.
That's
Like
that's
every
that's super neat.
oh
That sounds
dude.
really fun.
It was a blast. Like I was like, they give you like your track times afterwards, or like how fast you were doing the laps.
Yeah.
And I placed second to this other guy, sadly, but I got stuck behind a couple people. So
Well, it's because you're like
I blame it
100
on
pounds
that,
soaking wet, dude.
dude. I mean,
How much
it's
do you
only a
weigh?
matter of time till like a Mario or whatever some Formula One driver's like, "Hello, Armando. Would you like to be on our
I saw
Formula
your
One
track
team?"
time in Euro
Yeah.
kart.
in that little shitty amusement park that I was at. But I mean, they did hella good for that. Like it was a very small, like little amusement park, but their track was really fun.
Me and my dad, we talked about this earlier. Me and my dad did one of those, and you had to wear like the flame retardant.
Yeah, we had to
Fan
wear the
and
like
helmet, yeah.
the face sock and
Fuck
everything.
yeah,
And
dude.
Mhm.
That shit was fun. Me and my dad were going at it until his shoulder started to hurt. So
Dude,
I was,
well,
we
there's
were just
one in
rip-roaring
Virginia
around
Beach,
that
so
motherfucker. Yeah, that's the one we
hell
went
yeah,
to down by the aquarium or whatever it is,
I think so.
somewhere
I think
around
that
there.
was the same one. But it was fun as hell. So when you come down for your vacation,
Hell yeah,
hit the track.
hell yeah. So
The Cuban versus the American.
kind of like the what is that, the cold, no, I can't even think of it. Cuban Missile Crisis, right? That was the thing.
Yeah, yeah, that could be the name of our race, dude.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have GoPros, and we could put a YouTube video up of our
I
amazing race.
I have a GoPro.
I might have to pick
I
up a
only have
GoPro. I don't
one.
think they're that much.
They are a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe
You
not.
serious?
Maybe not. I have like a Hero 3, I think, but last time I knew they're a lot.
190,
No
399.
Ooh,
GoPro Hero 7 white.
$5,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Anyways, my week went well.
Oh, I didn't even ask you about your week. How was your week?
Yeah, my week went well. It was, it was good. You know, it was just another normal week, just the same shit every day. You know what I mean? I just go to work and go to the gym. You know, I don't recall anything super funny happening, anything super neat. Um, fuck, I bought a new headset. As video watchers could see, it is quite spicy. As
What
I
brand
like
is
to
that
say.
for the listeners?
It's HyperX, dude. This is a very good headset. I'm really enjoying it. When we play Arma, we've been playing a lot of Arma lately. Um, it's phenomenal. Even music. Like I've listened to Rez. I hear stuff I've never heard in her music before, and
And he's deaf.
it's me. Yeah, I'm deaf. Thanks, Army. But yeah, dude, I gave my old headset to my nephew today, and he lit up like a fat kid in a candy store. It
Oh,
was,
dude,
it was
I
really
bet
cool.
he's stoked.
And I think since I'm in the works of getting a new PC, you know, there's gonna be a little. I don't know if he listens to this or not. I mean, he's pretty young, so I'm gonna keep it on the DL. But there's some works there as well when I get a new PC.
Oh, he's gonna be freaking out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really cool. But fuck. Other than that, we've been playing Arma a lot. Mondo and Lance, our other buddy, tried to get me to play Stellaris, and honestly, I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was doing, so I just got a little irritated and quit. And
Yeah, there's a
I
learning
I
curve.
usually don't do that. I tried my best, but fuck, dude, everyone just was dying. I was losing money.
All right, dude.
It
It's
was
like
just
it's like certain people in certain games, man. It's like me and Smite, you know, like we just don't get along anymore.
But I think your issue with Smite is you need to play someone other than a mage. You need to try it, right?
See,
Play like an assassin or like a warrior. You know what I mean? A
I
mage,
don't know,
they're
man.
so squishy, and it's the same. It's probably the same build. That's probably why you feel like everyone's the same. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's just
I think you
yeah.
need to try someone else. I think you'd really like Vimana as a warrior, or I don't know, someone like
baloney.
yeah, Baloney, Bologna, but or even like fuck a guardian, Tintin. Tintin's super cool. Zintain,
Zintang.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I might. I don't know.
I think you just need to try something else.
I
other
know.
than
I need to
this.
shake it up.
Because we were melting you in that one game that you tried last week. We melted you in like one hit,
Well,
and that's usually the deal with mages. Anyway,
to be fair,
to be fair,
my teammates were just attacking one by one, so I'd get up there defending the tower, and you guys would just tower dive me every
well,
time.
yeah, there's a lot of tower diving in Smite. I've noticed as well.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, tower diving. So in Smite, you have towers. You're supposed to destroy the towers before you get to the phoenix, which is obviously it's just like a phoenix. It's a bird. After you destroy the bird, you can move on to the titan, which is like you have to destroy the titan to win the game. So you have to work through those objectives to ultimately win. Tower dive-in is basically when, like, so let's say Mondo, he plays a mage. Mages are super squishy, but they can also be very powerful. Usually in my opinion, they rely on their power to stop people from overpowering them because they kill the people before they can melt them in one hit, basically. So Mondo would be the only one in lane, and we would just kind of go in on him. Like me playing Kumba, I have over 3,000 health at full build. Usually, I can just go in on the tower, and the tower doesn't do anything to me. So I can just stun him, and my boys can come in since the tower's hitting me, focused on me,
Fuck me up.
and just fuck them up.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Super fun though.
I mean, it was, and that's the thing. I used to really enjoy it. I don't know where it went. I think it's because we stopped playing Conquest. Like, I did enjoy Conquest a lot.
I really enjoy Conquest.
But now that we're in that group with all those people, they always want to play in-house matches. And
Well, we only
honestly,
did that time because there were 6 people. I didn't think there was gonna be 6. I thought we were gonna have 5, and we were gonna do Conquest. And Conquest is a 3-lane. It's the same thing, but there's 3 different lanes, and there's 2 jungles. And jungles is where the assassins go to level up and all that good shit.
yeah.
So
But on another note, Arma,
on another note,
Arma
yeah.
has been the way to go recently
yeah,
for
Arma's
us.
super fun.
I mean, if any of you guys have not played on or watched videos on Arma, it's like the closest you can get to like a sim of
Simulation.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
of like what an army actually does or stuff like that. It's not like exact, like
No,
it's not like
not-
perfect role plays and stuff like that, but it's more like you take a helicopter out to the AO, They drop you off. You set up kind of like what you're supposed to be doing. Like in our instance, we were a mortar team. So we were setting
Yeah,
up a mortar and dropping mortar fire on enemies when we would find them on the map.
that shit was fun.
Pretty fun.
I was getting a little irritated that our backpacks kept disappearing, but what are you gonna
Yeah, a
do?
little buggy,
It's
but
Arma.
yeah, there's always gonna be bugs.
Yeah, but other than that, nothing much. Fuck.
So today's main focus of the episode,
Part 2,
is
baby.
part 2 of the conspiracy theories. And if you guys weren't here for last week, we started with we talked about the
Hollow Earth theory.
Middle Earth
And-
theory, and
and-
then it's the also the what is that one?
Concave
Earth theory. Yeah, talked about those,
45
and
degree
then
angles.
yeah.
55 degree.
oh my
Which
god, that whole artillery shit was so funny.
one?
And then we also talked about the cancer cure being hidden by the FDA and Big Pharma. And we went on a tangent with aliens for a while too.
Yeah.
But today's concept is going to be a little bit more darker, at least on my end. It's not going to be on Darrell's end.
I'm really excited to hear what Mondo has to throw at us this time.
Yeah.
I was a little taken away with last week's, but it was super interesting. And he told me the name of what he's talking about, and I'm just like, yo, that sounds super neat, dude.
It's going to be fun.
Mine's okay. Like, I made notes. I got a couple pages of notes here.
Oh my goodness. Look at this guy. He jumps out of college and he just makes notes about everything.
Fuck you, first
So I
off.
was in the woods yesterday and saw an oak tree, so I took 3 pages of notes on it, eh?
Listen, man. Our buddy Brian, he's always throwing the suggestions at us because he's super cool, super good dude. It sucks enough. He just moved back home.
What
the other
episode
day.
did we have him in here on?
The keg stands
Yeah, keg stands.
and parties or something. USA
Okay.
chants and pissing on people or something.
Oh yeah.
No, you got pissed on. That's what that was.
Yeah, I got pissed on and thrown up on. It was great.
So, what
do you got for us today?
I'm going to talk about the Mandela Effect. For those of you
All
who
right.
don't know, the Mandela Effect is a form of collective misremembering of common events or details. This phenomena, I guess you could call it, first emerged in 2010 when a numerous amount of people on the internet falsely remembered Nelson Mandela was dead. It was widely believed that he had died in prison during the 1980s when really Mandela was freed in 1990 and passed away in 2013. I honestly don't even know who the fuck that guy is. The only reason I know who he is because of the Mandela Effect. And just hearing about it, like on that podcast I talked about, talked about last week, the Mysterious Universe, because they actually talked about this a little bit like a year or two ago when I first started listening to him.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I know about this. And Brian, funny enough, he actually suggested it to me because before last week's episode, I was like, hey, we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. He's like, oh, have you heard of the Mandela Effect? It's like, yeah, I have. And I just don't really know what it is.
I can see him being very, very like articulate with conspiracy theories. Like he'd be a guy who could learn a conspiracy theory and then really like put out good
he
you know what I mean? He's very articulate, so like he could like explain it super super well.
Yeah, he loves it. So anyways, back to it. There is a paranormal consultant named Fiona Broom, and that's Broom with an E, who coined the term Mandela Effect to explain the collective misremembering. After this first instance in 2010, many other examples started popping up all over the internet. And we know how the internet works. Something comes up, especially Reddit, memes and stuff. People just kind of fuel the fire, even though it's fake. So here's a couple examples that popped up on the internet after this 2010 incident. Well, phenomena. C-3PO from Star Wars actually has a silver leg, but it was wrongly recalled that he was gold, like all gold. So I remember, I never watched Star Wars, okay? I remember him being all gold, but supposedly...
Wait. Let's just stop right there. You never have seen Star Wars?
I've watched like one. It's just not... it's just not my thing, man. You know?
Not a problem.
God, here we go. He's gonna talk like that the rest of the episode.
No.
So, what I remember is that C-3PO is all gold. Okay, yes. I don't know about you. I know you're a Star Wars.
Fact checked. It's true.
I know you're, but it says he has a silver leg.
At one point he does.
Okay, so that's kind of on the fence there. And there's the other one is people also wrongly believe that the queen in Snow White says mirror, mirror on the wall, but rather she says magic mirror on the wall. What the fuck, right? I don't think I've ever watched Cinderella either, but
Jesus Christ.
yeah, pretty great life, huh?
That's crazy. Yeah, we watched Trees and Woods whenever I was younger.
Well, I'm looking out my window right now. It's snowing, okay, and
That's
there's a
strange.
cornfield across the way, so that's what I got going on here.
You live in the Bermuda Triangle?
I live in the bumfuck nowhere, okay. So Fiona Broom, the paranormal consultant mentioned not too long ago, explains the Mandela Effect through pseudoscientific theories, claiming that differences arise from movement between parallel realities. This is based off the theory that within each universe, alternative versions of events and objects exist. So parallel realities, meaning the multiverse. Obviously, I think most of us can determine what that means, right? So we have our universe right now, and then the parallel universe could be me and you would be switched. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just
multi layers to a universe.
You'd be doing
basically.
my stuff that I'm doing in life, my job and all that, and I'd be doing yours. You know what I mean? Just I guess for a short example. Broom also makes the comparisons between existence and the holodeck of the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. So this says that the holodeck, for those of you who don't know, including me, because I never really watched Star Wars either, or not Star Wars, Star Trek. It was a virtual reality system which created recreational experiences. By Broom's explanation, memory errors are software glitches. This is also explained as being similar to the film The Matrix. Not to burst anyone's bubble, but fuck, man, I need to go out and watch some more movies. I think I've watched. I don't think I've watched The Matrix either.
I'm gonna send you a list that I made for Marissa. All the movies that you have to watch. Every movie you have to watch.
It's just like never on my list to go see a movie. I felt the urge yesterday to do it, but just didn't. Because there's nothing.
Do you still have Netflix or no?
No, I don't. I have Hulu.
Okay. Well, even if you have Hulu, there's a bunch of good. I think that Matrix is on Hulu right. You should definitely watch that one.
Well, I need to take a look. So, back into it. Other theories suggest that the Mandela Effect evidences changes in history caused by time travelers. There are then claims that distortions result from spiritual attacks linked to Satan, black magic, or witchcraft. Even though these theories appeal to many, they aren't scientifically testable. So, what is that? Satan, black magic, or witchcraft? What do you think, Mondo? Spiritual attacks. And the Mandela Effect. Do you think time travelers are coming in to our universe from other universes, doing witchcraft, and making us think that certain phenomena are not the way they are?
I mean, thoughts? I think that I mean,
you can do it.
If I would go so far to believe that aliens exist, I don't think that would be out of the question. I mean, they have like. If you think about the universe if you think about our universe like an onion, and we're like the layer in the middle of it, and let's say that they have like not have experiences, but think that there's other dimensions. So those other dimensions are layered around us, what we are.
Yeah. Okay.
In saying that, I don't think it would be necessarily just evil people that can access that. I think that if you do believe in a multi-dimensional system, it would be like another world like us living on another layer of like what we see as existence. So like, go ahead.
What you're saying is the multi-universe theory in your eyes is like an onion. There's layers, and we're on the inner layer.
Yes,
and
onions have layers, donkey.
See, I know that.
No, but like, so yeah, like I feel like I don't know if you've never seen the movie Interstellar. I'm guaranteeing. Yes, I knew it. So, in Interstellar, he pretty much goes into space to try and figure out why another universe that the world could live on.
Okay.
But he gets sucked into like an interdimensional wormhole, basically, and he goes into this, and he's able to contact himself in a past dimension.
What the fuck?
So like, he's able to see what's going on in the past dimension. Now that's like saying that like the fibers of our entire like system and living and everything like that it's all just like it's like How's the best explain? It's like a theater. Like ours is one screen inside the theater.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple things going on inside that theater. That's like that. Like we can't see them. They may live in a totally different like biosphere than us. Like it might be totally different, but we're in this instance and they're in the next instance. I probably confused a lot of people by saying that, but I've heard so much shit on this
I'm
that
losing my
it's like
fucking mind right now. What do you think about time? Do you think?
time can be changed.
Yeah.
I think that if we're visited by anybody right now, it's in like the way future. Like I don't think that we have that kind of I mean, this goes into like wormhole theories and stuff like that, though, because like if
Yeah.
you travel through like a wormhole, you technically lose time. There's also saying that people can go back in time by flying around the Earth at a certain speed.
Yeah.
Like they showed in Superman in one film, but they also tracked it in like a fighter jet. I don't know which one it was, an F-16 or an F-17, something like that.
Uh-huh.
It flew around the world as fast as it can, and it came up 2 seconds less whenever the clocks they compared the clocks
What the fuck?
whenever they came back. So yeah, there is definitely a gap in
Okay.
time that can be attained, but I don't think that we have the capability of doing it right now.
We probably definitely don't.
And that could be like him flying around just could be like a magnetic pull on his instruments or something like that changed that up. Like they say that certain spots of the world do that, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the future of people, if mankind survives till 2,000, 3,000 more years, let's just say, and we don't just all end up going into some nuclear apocalypse or some shit like that,
Uh-huh.
then who knows? I mean, in the last like 50 years, we wouldn't have had microwave TVs, all that shit. So who
Mhm.
knows what's possible, you know?
Yeah. That's yeah.
Touchscreen devices? Like 30 years ago, everybody looked at you and been like, "You fucking,
You're
how do I touch a TV and it does something?"
Yeah. How do I talk to something named Alexa that's a black circle on my desk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that tells the
that's
government
still,
all of the things about my house. I
that
mean,
still blows my
oh,
mind.
another thing.
Well, you don't even have to do that. Your phone does that. I could say,
I know.
what do I want? I want food, and all I see is fucking ads for food. We're getting way
Yeah.
off topic here, but anyways.
That's okay.
So moving from Satan, black magic, and witchcraft, we go to the actual science that might describe the effect of Mandela. Psychologists explain the Mandela effect via memory and social effects, particularly false memory. This involves mistakenly recalling events or experiences that have not occurred or distortion of existing memories. So, I guess this could be a very, very dull example would be the dude who caught the fish that's this big,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually this big
Okay.
10 years ago, or you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
something along the lines. Very, very dull example that might apply to it. I'm not really sure. False memories occur in numerous ways. For example, the Dease Row Digger McDermott paradigm demonstrates how learning a list of words that contain closely related items such as bed and pillow produces false recognition of related but non-presented words such as sleep. So words can trigger other things, is what I'm gathering from that.
Yeah.
Memory inaccuracy can also arise from what's known as source monitoring errors. These are instances where people fail to distinguish between real and the imagined. U.S. professor Jim Cohen demonstrated this with the Lost in the Mall procedure. Cohen gave his family members short narratives describing childhood events. One was about his brother getting lost in a mall, which wasn't real. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming since this dude's a professor, his brother is around the same age as him. It's not an actual kid, because it doesn't exactly say in the article, but we're just assuming here. Gave him this narrative that wasn't real about being lost in the mall. And his brother not only believed the event occurred, but his brother added additional details that he didn't even tell him about. So, yeah, so that's a bit fucky to me. Then there was a cognitive psychologist, an expert on human memory, Elizabeth Loftus, applied the technique to a larger sample, and 25% of the participants failed to recognize the event was false. I don't know how big the sample was. I didn't exactly go into that, but like at the end of this, we're gonna have the links. I only have 2 links today, actually, instead of 7. The links, and if you guys are super interested in that, it's a little further down under the science tab. So 25%. Actually, I could just look right now. 25%, man. That's a lot of people. Out of 100%, it's only a quarter, but okay, it's a video. We're not going to do that. So if you're interested in the video, it's about 4 minutes long. I'm not going to sit here and watch it. So a couple more examples near the end of this. It talks about incorrect recall. I didn't feel that was important enough to like put in here, but some dude wrote a book in 1932. It's called Remembering, and what did he do? He read Canadian Indian folk tale War of the Ghosts to participants. He found that listeners omitted unfamiliar details and transformed information to make it more understandable. This process is called effort after meaning and occurs in the real-world situations too. For instance, research has previously shown how when participants recall the contents of a psychologist's office, they tend to remember the consistent items such as bookshelves and omit the inconsistent items like a picnic basket. What are you thinking? Because honestly, I couldn't fucking tell you, buddy.
I feel like I think the greatest argument that is against Mandela theory is like telephone effect. Like whenever you play telephone as a little kid.
Yeah.
You know how like you say like the teacher says something in your ear and then you're supposed to pass it to the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person.
Yeah.
So like at the end of it all, that she wants to show you that it's changed over time. Like as it's passed down the line, everybody's kind of said something different. It's like in the same sort of that, except that the theory is that your brain constructs something from a dimension that's not of your own.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. That's what I'm grasping from the. I don't know much about the Mandela Effect.
Well, I'm the quote unquote expert of this today, and honestly, I've learned the most about it today than I have.
Yeah.
You know, I read it a little bit like last week and all that because I didn't think we were going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours on it. So, I mean, that is definitely a good argument against it, but the telephone theory really fucks with me too. It's like how do you mess that up?
Yeah. I mean, as kids, she's like, hey, tell Jimmy to shut the fuck up. And you say, hey, fucking shut up, Nicky. And then it just goes down because you're trying to be funny. But at the end of it all, the last person's like, hey, I want a donut. And everybody's like, what the hell? Like, where is this going?
You got donuts, man? So we've got a couple more examples here. I got a big example at the end, which kind of threw me for a loop. But this one is the mistaken belief that Uncle Pennybags, the Monopoly guy, wears a monocle. I guess he doesn't. When I imagine him, he wears a fucking monocle, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly he doesn't.
I'm looking.
The other example is the product Kit Kat contains a hyphen. So it's the way we think Kit Kat is, it's Kit-Kat, but it's actually just Kit Kat together. I never even would have thought about that, but maybe I think that's maybe just a thing that people get misconstrued. I never, for one, gave a shit about Kit Kats. The white chocolate ones are the best, but that's just me. So, moving on to the end of this little article here, or article notes, I should say. The section's titled Reality, so I guess we're moving back into the reality version of it, not the science or the witchcraft, Satan, black magic version. Frequently reported errors can become part of collective reality. The internet also doesn't help this process by circulating the false information. So I guess that's like a big internet game of telephone. For example, the simulations of the 1997 Princess Diana car crash are regularly mistaken for the real footage. So I just learned about this today. I guess there's simulations of that car crash that people think is the real thing.
Yeah.
Through the internet, I guess, it can be misconstrued that it is a real thing if you don't know your information, right? The majority of Mandela effects are attributable to memory errors and social misinformation. The fact that a lot of the inaccuracies are trivial suggests they result from selective attention or faulty inference. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm just like mind blown right now.
Yeah. So not to say that the Mandela effect is not explicable in terms of the multiverse. In fact, the notion of parallel universes is consistent with the work of quantum physicists. But until the existence of alternative realities is established, psychological theories appear much more plausible, which is why I think most people turn to science aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's interesting to say the least. So gonna go to the main example here. The Burns. So is it the Bernstein or the Bernstein?
I said Bernstein Bears.
Sorry, Berenstein or Berenstein Bears. What do you think it is? I know everyone remembers this book. It's those cool looking bears. It's like 5 pages. The books are actually called the Bernstein Bears, like stain as on the carpet, but not Bernstein. I always called it the Bernstein.
Yeah.
It's an A, not an E in there. But most people remember the Bernstein Bears. There's a couple on this article here. There's a couple comments I guess people had about it. I'll read one or two. It's nothing super crazy. March 2014, JM said, I assume these are just comments on this website in particular. I too clearly remember it as Bernstein, even though I never read the books. Why would anyone change that? It seems irrelevant. Jennifer said I had overlooked the material here about people remembering the popular children's books as being Bernstein Bears, not Bernstein. Fuck, dude, I'm losing it here. Bernstein Bears, not Bernstein Bears. I just saw that today and it blew my mind. I was a meticulous spelling nerd as a child and have zero doubt that the books the kids were reading were about the Bernstein Bears. I tried to research Library of Congress and trademark info today to see if maybe they had at some point been a changeover due to multiple parties using variations of the name. Nope, the official records state that the series is always Bernstein after the very real last names of the authors, which is Bernstein. So,
damn. I could totally see that though, because there's like certain words that like we've changed as a society that aren't like when somebody says nuclear,
yeah,
like it's the nuclear power plant and stuff like that. It's actually nuclear, like EAR.
Yeah.
Most people say nuclear, like ULAR.
Yeah, nuclear.
Yeah, it's NU clear.
Yeah,
and nuclear instead of nuclear.
Well, that's like the Brits when they say aluminum, it's aluminium.
Or Illuminati.
Or maybe that's just a meme. I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. So that's my little segment. Take that how you want it. Very interesting in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely a lot more examples on that, but I gave probably 4 or 5. So think about it. Let us know what you think somewhere. I don't know.
Multi-dimensional.
So yeah.
Multi-dimensional vampires.
So I guess that's a good time to take our little break for our Spotify audio listeners, Anchor listeners, whatever you may be listening on, to get our juicy ad read in for me that we still haven't done yet. So we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone. God, I love doing that live on Twitch. It just feels so good to just stare at nothing.
Yeah. And they're just like, okay, is my audio broken? And they unplug all their audio cables to reset it.
As every week, I hope you really enjoyed that beautiful ad read from me, who sounds quite fucked, honestly.
Yeah.
But
we're going to do a recording together of it soon.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. It's going to be a lot better.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a little more fun, more enjoyable for you guys to listen to.
Instead of me, hey guys, Darrell here.
I'm going to get real close with you right now here.
Yeah.
I'm going to level with you.
I'm going to level with you right now, okay? Just listen, please.
Buy my stuff. It's going to be huge.
Jesus Christ. So, Mondo, what do you got for us, man?
All right. So, here we go.
Here we go.
Now, Darrell,
okay.
Have you ever heard of Jimmy Savile?
Jimmy Dean?
Not Jimmy Dean.
No, not
Jimmy Savile.
Nope. Never.
All right.
This is new to me, man. You told me the name of this. I have no idea.
Okay, so this comes there's a documentary shot on this. Very, very, very little coverage.
Okay.
In any of the early 2000s. It all started coming up till now. Reason being is because it was a massive pedophile ring that was busted in Britain.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, massive. Like, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of people that were assaulted by this man, and
one
bunch
person?
of people. No, like 50 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the ringleader of it all was a man named Jimmy Savile. Okay, so this guy, this is a little messed up. It's a little dark. So if there's anybody under the age of 18, I'm warning you right now. This is very dark.
Yeah, that's a good thing you did that. That's really good, actually.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're under the age of 18, we have put a disclaimer in this one
Yes.
because it is pretty deep and dark. So if you go and tell your parents about it and they freak out, and I get an email explaining that my 3-year-old or 5-year-old just watched a video on you explaining a pedophile ring bust, I will be emailing them back and saying you shouldn't have been on this
Yeah,
stream.
if Mondo puts a disclaimer on it, because I have no idea what the fuck's about to happen, that's probably a good thing.
Okay, so Jimmy Savile was a guy in the 1900s who did a lot of charity work. He
Okay.
raised probably $5.1 million for this little hospital that nobody really knew, nobody was really working with, and they were having a hard time like becoming an actual recognized hospital. Well, he built it from like the ground up, basically, giving them millions and millions of dollars and helping them build certain parts of the hospital up. One of the big things that the hospital dealt with was children.
Uh huh. So it's like a
So
children's hospital.
it wasn't recognized as a children's hospital, but one of the big things that they did work into was trying to make it more of a children's hospital.
Okay.
And so they also worked with like pregnancies and elderly care and stuff like that, but the main focus, children. So he was born into kind of a shitty family.
Mhm.
He worked in the coal mines and stuff like that, and then he became a TV show host not long after that because he got injured, and he started to get more and more celebrity status from that. So much so that he got recognized by the Queen of England, who's still in power today.
Whoa, no way.
Yes, and was friends with a lot of the people in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
There's no correlation between that and the pedophile ring. I'm not making that comparison. Um, but he was very high up. And what I'm trying to explain is that he had a lot of connections. Like he
Yeah.
knew a lot of high-powered people. Okay, so in 1940s, the first allegation came, and he was only like he was young, like he was very young.
Okay.
And first allegation came, and it was a neighbor. Blah 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 blah. Nothing came of it because it was just young guy doing stupid stuff. Then later on down the line, about 20 years later, multiple allegations started popping up. So he was doing more and more charity work, but he was doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people were starting to find out. There was different things like people saying that he was going into children's hospitals and closing the door whenever he was walking into children's rooms and doing sketchy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All these allegations were coming out, and the media was covering absolutely none of it. Absolutely not a single thing. Out of nowhere, the Queen knighted him. So they gave him the status of Sir, which in England is a
What?
huge deal.
That's
Like
hardcore, dude.
yeah, you get a lot of immunity doing that. A lot of people argue that he did this so that he could block himself from a lot of the allegations that were coming because no one would think it would be a Sir
It makes
or a
sense, right?
person, yeah, or a person that's funding a lot of charities.
Ooh.
So what happened was there was a um one of the main reasons why nobody was kind of pushing towards this is because he was one of the main benefactors of the hospital systems,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be absolute media suicide for the Queen to come out. She knew of these allegations before she knighted him. She was made well aware of it, and she still knighted him.
The
And
Queen, right?
the Queen,
Okay.
yeah. And she didn't say anything about it, gave no comment. There was no media cast of any of this. The first time the media actually said anything about it was in 2010,
What?
and it was a guy who came. I have his name right here.
So this stuff happened in the 40s, 1940s?
This happened in like from the 50s all the way to 2012
2000?
when he
Are
died.
you kidding me?
Yes. So
Jesus.
I gotta find his name here.
You're good. So this dude is doing this like all his life then, huh?
Pretty much.
And he made like a group for this?
Yes. So what it was is
God.
they called it the Ninth Circle. So it's based off of Dante's Inferno, the Ninth Circle of Hell,
Okay.
which is reserved for people like this,
Mm.
who do like lewd acts and sex and stuff like that. He was so the administrator of affairs of sorry
You're good.
the administrator of affairs, the chief investigator, his name was William Hagg. He heard of these allegations. There were hundreds and hundreds of allegations brought to him in
Jeez.
2008. Hundreds. Like people raped, children actually raped. Nobody was drawing any connections whatsoever.
God.
Kids that went missing and died, like killed from this guy. And the administrator shut it completely down, said, we're not doing any further investigation on this. Well, he died in 2012. All of a sudden, right after 2012, the media blows up. Everybody saying he was a pedophile, he did this, he did that. So a bunch of different, there was a whole cabinet that he worked with especially, and a bunch of names like Stuart Hall, Fred Talbot, Ray Tourette, William Roche, Michael Lavelle, Neil Fox, all of these people that were big up and coming superstars, they were a part of this ring, and they started doing this investigation and uncovering these things. Now, one of the biggest things that was happening undercover at the very end of his life was he had bought a boat, and this is the famous death rides, which they now have made famous. And this is all from a conspiracy theory that people had made in England, like that this was going on, but nobody was putting it together. And it then was found true.
What
That's
the
the whole
fuck?
point of
So
it.
this
Yeah.
started as a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it just started as a theory that this was going on because people were hearing more and more about this and putting
Holy
it together.
shit.
Yeah. So the Margaret Thatcher cabinet, which he had helped design, 50% of them were found to be guilty of child pornography and child endangerment and pedophilia charges. So there was like 300 some people that were being investigated for this, because especially the few that had taken part in these things called the death rides, which were, he had bought a boat and he was lending out this boat to certain people that were higher up that wanted to do this kind of things. And he was taking kids on these joy rides on a boat who didn't have parents, who were mentally challenged, or
God.
who were homeless, and putting them on there. They would go do their thing with these kids, kill them, and throw them into the river.
That's fucking disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting.
God.
No media coverage whatsoever all the way till 2000. The allegations were popping up like crazy that these kids were going missing. So if you think for one fucking second that your government has not hidden things from you,
Okay,
then
dude.
let's go.
Okay.
No, okay. What I am saying though is like, you don't have to question everything, but sometimes there's a few conspiracy theories that are actually true. So don't always shut down all conspiracy theories.
Aliens.
So yeah, exactly. The Yeti. Anyways, after 2012, they could not strip him of his Sir rank anymore because he was knighted. But what
Okay.
they did do is they're gonna garbage his tombstone, and so nobody knows where he's buried anymore.
So that's what that means? Garbage a tombstone?
Yeah, pretty much they scrap it. They break the tombstone, and then he's just
There.
nobody knows that his body's there anymore. The organization that he was a part of now is gone. The people that were in control at that certain time, there are a few that are still in control today in Britain. There are a bunch of people that are still alive that were in that ring, including some of the names that I said that are still alive today, and they're in prison over there.
Really? So they
They're
got
still
charged.
all, yeah. Well, he got away with it. There's still all allegations toward him. Never did he ever go to court over it.
Well, he died. I mean, you know what? It's kind of fucked up that there was that many allegations. Do you think it's just because he was a sir? Why they never did that?
I definitely think it was a sir, and I definitely think that there is. I mean, it kind of goes to show if you know people of power, you can really get away with anything.
Well, in my mind, I'm thinking that he got knighted, right? Because he knew all the higher ups and blah blah blah. I'll do all that shit. So that way he could do it, because in my mind, the government over there doesn't want the sir status to look bad, right?
It taints it, yeah.
Yeah, and if you tainted it with that sort of thing, if you're a sir, at that point you'd be a pedophile, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty fucky. So what else is going on with it?
So as of right now, there is a bunch of different investigations. sting operations going on all over, finding people that.
You're cutting out, buddy.
You got me now?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
So a bunch of sting operations?
Yeah, there's sting operations going on all over England right now, still going on today, trying to weed out the ones that got away with doing these certain things. There were many, and they're still alive today. There's many like eyewitnesses that I don't want to get like too kind of gross with it, but he was doing things with dead people.
Oh,
too.
okay. So
Yeah.
what is that? No,
necrophilia or something like that.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
narcolepsy. That's when you fall asleep.
Yeah. He wasn't doing that. They probably wouldn't have had so much trouble with him if he did
God.
that. But yeah, so he was a necrophiliac, and there's eyewitnesses of it, and there's no way that they can like prove it now because he's gone. They did a bunch of interviews with him before he died because these allegations were popping up like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them were going into the court system, but interviewers were pestering him like crazy about it, and being like, hey, like there was a couple psychologists that met with him to see if he was an actual like psychotic person. And he had this crazy, he had all the points that point to him being absolutely psychotic. Like he was full of himself. He didn't remember any of his past wrongdoings. He could never admit that he did something wrong. He would never say sorry. He would never ask for forgiveness, or he would never like even give them the opportunity to speak and saying that this is false. He never said anything about it. He believed that he was 100% correct.
So this dude was fucking nuts, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he was absolutely nuts.
God.
And oh yeah, dude. And it's crazy, like those kind of rings. They're still busted today. I mean, they still find there's sting operations in America where they're finding these.
Yeah.
People, sleeping around with kids, younger teenage women and stuff like that. And it's disgusting, but Jimmy Savile is something that's not, you never really hear about that name, but it's still like, if you go to his Wikipedia page, that's not the first thing that pops up. It still talks about all the charity work he did.
Really?
Yep.
So why, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Why do you think that how do I say this? People are trying to I mean, it's a good thing that what he did in regard to the donating to the charities and stuff, but it's not a good thing in regard to what he did on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why do you think people are still trying to keep his legacy alive in regard to the good things over
I think it's
all the bad things?
I think it's wrapped around who he's connected to. I mean, you
Even
have
now?
oh yeah, I mean
he's dead.
Over on the other side of the lake, basically, the
Yeah.
Catholic Church rules. Like that's like the number one says on most of that. So you got a guy who's tied with the Catholic Church. You got a guy who's tied with the Queen, like going out regularly on occasions with them to an island, having vacations with the Queen's family and everything like that. You got politicians that are in his back pocket, and you're gonna come out there and say that this guy was like the number one pedophile that you've ever arrested in England? I think not. Like they would never do that.
So basically, all the other people aren't trying to taint themselves or their legacies, if they're, you know what I mean, even though they haven't, maybe these select few haven't done that. They're still trying. They're trying to protect themselves.
Yeah,
Because
think
they'll
about
be associated
like,
with it.
yeah, think about like the number one superstar that comes to your mind whenever you think superstardom.
What do you mean, like athlete?
Whatever it is.
The Rock, because I want to look like him.
Let's just say this is nothing against The Rock. The Rock has never done any of this stuff.
He's gonna come beat your ass, dude.
Yeah, I know. He'll squish me like a freaking grape. Let's just say that someone made allegations towards him.
Okay.
That's the same kind of thing over there. It's like, whoa, you can't do that, dude. Like that's The Rock, exactly.
Oh,
He was
okay.
He was that much of a star over there to people. He was the guy you look at. It's like, wow. He is the nicest guy. He is so caring. He is so sweet. He's like that kind of person over there.
Okay. I got you. That puts it in a little more perspective for me in my small brain.
That's why, I mean, like, I look at the guy, I'm like, yeah, that guy's a pedophile. Like, when I look at him, like, apparently England didn't think so.
Well, they, to them, we're all fat, eat cheeseburgers, and them to us, they got gaps in their teeth. You know what I mean?
And so I've linked all the investigations that they've done on it, all the different sting operations that
that'll
they've
be
had.
cool.
So you can go and look through. There was like 6 different sting operations that have gone on in England since that time, looking into different people, into different branches of the government and stuff like that, trying to weed them out.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Oh my God. When I first stumbled upon that, I like turned it on because I saw, oh, Ninth Circle. Like I didn't know what it was about, but I was in the car in Pittsburgh and I was like, oh, Ninth Circle, like this should be fun. And then all of a sudden my mind was blown like 15 minutes into it. I'm like, how have I never heard of this?
Yeah,
Like,
I've never heard of it either.
oh yeah.
Would that kind of be the same situation as like the Michael Jackson stuff?
Well, yes and no. I think that the Michael Jackson stuff is, well,
What was it?
you know, that could be, yeah, that could be like a correlation to it. Michael Jackson though wasn't really like, I don't know. He wasn't really like that kind of person where it was like he thought the world of himself, because they've done interviews and looked at interviews of Michael Jackson as being a psychotic person.
Uh-huh.
He definitely he had some type of issues with like how his age aligned because his childhood was so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there was never anything proven, just like this guy too. So it's like you can't really like with Jimmy Savile, it was like you have like people coming out and saying, "Yeah, you raped me," and that's, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's difficult to prove, but on his level, on Jimmy Savile's level, you had many people saying it, and then you had people that also were in the organization with him that also said Jimmy Savile was one of the guys who was a ringleader of this. You have guys going out in Jimmy Savile's boat and doing this to children. You have guys that are living in Jimmy Savile's house. You have houses that are owned by Jimmy Savile that there's organized like crime going on in with these kind of rings.
That's fucked, dude.
Absolutely.
Fuck. Is that all you got?
About the Jimmy Savile thing, yeah, man.
Yeah. The Mandela Effect was what I had for today. So unless you got any more, I don't know. Could ramble on about Bigfoot. We're almost at an hour anyway, so it's not really.
Yeah, no, we could
know.
close her out at an hour.
Yeah. So,
But
that's really weird.
yeah, that's those are our conspiracy theories for today. Yeah, let us know what you guys.
Yeah, rate us 5 stars on iTunes, YouTube, fucking Spotify.
Yeah,
Do something for us, or so, you know.
give us a
something
comment.
cool.
Do we have? Can you do comments on Spotify?
I don't think on Spotify. I know on iTunes you can, and we're definitely on iTunes for you.
We do not have a comment on iTunes yet.
No, we don't. I tried to rate.
Someone leave us a comment on iTunes, and we'll give you a shout out in the next.
Yeah, that'd be really neat.
It's like
It's like on our end we can see that people are listening, but you know what I mean? Like some kind of interaction through text. You know what I mean?
Oh
It'd
yeah,
be really cool. I mean, we had some dude in our Twitch chat today talking about a bunch of stuff, but you know, without other people being able to see it, it's kind of hard to respond. Usually Mondo types back to them, and I just kind of look at it. So he's the one that usually does that, I guess, because my keyboard's way too loud. But other than that, I mean, I guess that's our 2 episodes on conspiracy theories. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very good and quite fun to learn about those.
If we ever stumble upon anything, or if anybody messes with great conspiracy theory, we might revisit it at some point.
I think so as well. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. We'll be probably popping back to this at some point in our lives, but we will be announcing next week's on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday is when I usually try to do it. I'm really excited. We got like the next couple picked out, and if we're doing the one I think we're gonna do next week, unless we get that intro, I am super pumped for it. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah, depending on intro.
Yeah, depending on intro, we have at least 2 lined up, dependent. So
2 intros dependent?
No.
Oh,
2 episodes. Yeah, we have the dependent on
damn,
intro.
We got a double intro.
That'd be neat, but
that'd be so
we'll get her done. Some good stuff coming your guys' way for sure. So thanks for tuning in to the episode. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, problem_podcast. For you audio listeners, it's twitch.tv/notaprobpod. For you Twitch viewers and YouTube viewers. Anchor.fm/not a problem. We're on Spotify, not a problem. iTunes, not a problem. Google Podcasts, not a problem. Wherever you like to listen, whether you're driving, taking a shit, whatever you're doing, man. Taking a nap, listening to us, our beautiful voices.
Or even for all those National Guard folk who are out in the field just chilling in the Porta John, just trying to, hang out.
Yeah, cranking one out, a little shellacking.
A little wake and bake action in the Porta John there.
Hey!
17 to California!
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Bye!